the year, 1991. Sergeant Slaughter, once beloved, defeats the Ultimate Puke for the WWF Championship. Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls officially put an end to the 80s dynasty at the NBA Finals. After 6 years, 7 seasons, and 140 episodes, the real Ghostbusters animated TV series is canceled. And for that main reason, along with others, such as declining sales and interest in the Ghostbuster brand, and no new movie sequel on the horizon, Kenner pulled the plug on the Ghostbusters toy line. But not before releasing their 10th and final wave, Ecto-Glow Heroes. The Fab Four are back, and with backup from Louis Tully and his meanie-weenie ghost, but trying to track down any one of them, then or now, is an uphill battle, and it's gonna cost you. Thankfully, Hasbro with their Kenner Classics are here to save the day. Made available at San Diego Comic-Con, a friend of mine was kind enough to snag me a set, plus some G.I. Joe classifieds. You can still get yours at Hasbro Pulse, but they just sold out. So let's unbox my set together. Heck, you might not be missing much, but as a big Ghostbuster fan and a glow-in-the-dark things fan, yeah. So let's get to it. I gotta admit, this unboxing is gonna be a bit challenging. Not only does it come in this amazing box, look at the way it's displayed. This is really, really good. But also inside, I have to try and figure out how I'm gonna get the Ghostbusters out without messing up the box, because I do plan on putting them up on my pegs. I remodeled it a few months ago, leaving space just for these Ecto-Glow heroes. Look at this side right here with all the Ghostbusters. And then on the back, this is really cool. I'm not gonna cut this out, but as a kid, I would have loved this, and I actually did cut this out. I forgot what toy actually had this, where you cut it out, put it on your doorknob. The real Ghostbusters Ecto-Glow Heroes. Enter the ghost world with the real Ghostbusters Ecto-Glow Heroes, featuring spectral glow-in-the-dark deco. They're ready to expose the ghastliest ghosts and ghouls of the netherworld. Turn off the lights and watch them shine. Each figure comes with a proton pack, neutrino wand, mask, and companion ghost. You got all the 4 Ghostbusters on the left-hand side, and we're missing the one figure, Louis Tully, that was on the final 5. We've seen all these ghosts before, and these top 2 were released in the originals, but now they're glow in the dark. At the very top, we've got that. At the bottom, you got the UPC. I really want to see these Ecto-Glow figures, so with this sheet right here, it's almost like an unboxing within an unboxing. I'm gonna smell this. It smells like cardboard. There we go. And they're in there nice and tight. That looks so cool. And of course, they're all unpunched. Boy, this looks awesome. Now, straight off the bat, I do wish they would have put the rest of the Kenner Classic action figures in the back, but just like this, that's pretty cool. I'm glad they at least put this almost like a little G.I. Joe file card right here at the bottom. And with all the lights going, these guys are already charging. This is something I didn't notice at first, just because I was just looking at all of this. But at the bottom right here, it says part of a set, not labeled for individual sale. Does that mean that these Ecto-Glow heroes are just a little different? They're kind of variants of what's gonna hit the market, like Target and Walmart. One thing I didn't like is all of them have Peter Venkman as your example as how to use the neutrino wand. This product contains a non-toxic light-emitting pigment which causes it to glow in the dark. I'm glad it's non-toxic. And the plastic very much looks like my RoboCop glow in the dark. I stepped away for a few minutes, left the lights on, Let's see how much it actually charged. This is awesome. The plastic is really absorbing all the light. Even my RoboCop figure is lighting up just a bit, but not as much as these guys. It's still daytime out. I can't wait to show these off during the night. I mentioned the file cards earlier. This area right here on the right hand side, all 4 Ghostbusters, it says the same thing. I'll leave it right here so that you guys have a chance to read it on your own. It nicely describes everyone's personality and their role in the Ghostbusters. As I unbox them, I'll be comparing them to the original first wave that I got back in early 1987 for my birthday. And because I think the molding is going to be just like the 2020 Kenner Classics release, here's Winston. As I pointed out on my unboxing of Winston, there are a few differences between the Kenner Classics and the originals. Namely, the plastic is a lot more flexible. I'm not going to try that with this one because it's just going to break. And the way the backpack connects is a lot different from the way these backpacks connected. The originals have this split peg here. The Kenner Classics is just a tube, a peg, simple peg that you just press in, which will save you from having to fix it. Another difference on the Proton packs, on the first wave, it had the cables coming out from the bottom of the Proton packs instead of how it should be, right on the middle. I don't own any of the original Ecto-Glow heroes to compare the packages, but from pictures, what I could see is that the originals don't have the 4+, it doesn't have the warning sign. This animation is a little higher up on the card. Something I had to consider while making room on the pegs for these new Ecto-Glow heroes was the position of the peg. They're not completely centered like the original figures or even the 2020 release. They're more a little off to the side, like the Kenner Classics Fright Features. Whereas the original Fright Features, they're centered and they also hang just a little tilted on the pegs. Although seemingly they have the same accessories, the Ecto-Glow heroes do come with the little mask. Maybe that kind of makes this side just a little heavier, which made them have to put the peg holes just a little off to the left. And as you can see, the bubble is a lot thinner from the 2020 Kenner Classics action figures, which makes them fit a lot nicer in that box that they came in. And it's very similar to the original Fright Features. Okay, this is the point where I'm really nervous and I really don't know how to unbox it because I want to leave this as pristine as I possibly can. They're still unpunched. Maybe if I punch it, I won't feel as bad unboxing it. Here we go. Whoa! I put the microphone up here so that you can hear the bubble and cardboard separating, because that was quite a sound. What is going on here? Looks like the plastic is actually doubled at the bottom. The bubble actually goes in, making it harder for me to just slide the inner shell out. That sucks. It's not too bad, but we'll see once I repack them and hang them up. Let's smell them. It's a slight new toy smell. Let's take a look at his accessories, starting off with the Ghost. Rapper Ghost. Originally released with the first Ray. He feels a little stiff. It might be because of that plastic. I remember this being a lot more flexible. His eyes are colored in, and we'll see if that color is also glow in the dark. His face, or the mask. Details on the face are just a little washed out because it is, well, it's very, very bright. This face, and yeah, it looks like it's just a complete mold of the front of his head. And let's see how it fits in there. Oh, that clips on there very good. There's no way you're going to lose this mask as long as you keep it on his head. And last but not least, we've got his proton pack, neutrino wand, and the blast effect. We see that the cord is coming out from the middle of the proton pack. It looks pretty long. It is longer than the original one, and a lot longer than the 2020 Kenner Classics release. Taking a look at the back of the proton pack, just like the Kenner Classics, the neutrino wand looks good. Little lever back here is just like the Kenner Classics, it's pretty thin. And this blast effect is exclusive to Winston. And you're supposed to capture your ghost here. I hope I don't break this thing. The original is on the left and the Kenner Classics is on the right. As you can see, they used darker paint, so he's got a little more melanin in his skin. As you see right here on his butt, it says 1984 Columbia Pictures. And where is the legal stamp on this? It's on the bottom of his foot. And there's a difference right there. The bottom of his foot is flat, whereas this one, you got the legal stamps. Now let's see how flexible this plastic is. Oh, it's a little tighter. I mean, he could touch his hand to his other hand, whereas this one, I don't want to try it. This is more like the originals, where the plastic is a lot stiffer. So the outfit on this guy is, well, it's the original, but the way it's painted, it's funny. One thing that I wanted to see is if the mask fit the original one. Yeah. And putting the proton pack on his back is a bit of a tight squeeze. Then taking it off, ooh. Yeah, so might just wanna leave it on or off, because after a while, I don't know how durable this plastic will be. Or I guess you could put some WD-40 in there. And all the Ghostbusters have their own different color pattern with their names on their right leg. Unboxing Winston was a little tricky because of the extra plastic bubble flap that they put down here. What if I unbox Egon from the side? Let's see how that'll work out. I wish there was a YouTube video I could have watched to see how... Oh, I really ruined this one. Man, that looks really bad. It's really, really, really bad. Well, let's smell them. Smells just as good as Winston. Take a look at Egon's accessories, starting off with Jail Jaw Ghost, which originally came with Fright Features Ray. That looks pretty spooky, I guess. As a little kid, you'd probably be scared of this. I actually liked it. I used to pick my teeth with this guy. This guy was a lot of fun to put in your slime because of the way his mouth is. Egon's mask that also comes with colored glasses. Not just the eyes, the proton pack, neutrino wand, and the blast effect, which is exclusive just to Egon and his Jail Jaw Ghost. I guess you could probably put it all the way in and have him spin around. And now that we're gonna look at the actual action figure, let's see how the mask fits on him. Perfect, look at that. Really nice. And now comparing them to the original. I actually have other Egons with the same body mold, same everything, except different colors, as Kenner liked doing that, just using the same mold and giving them different colors. And just like Winston, this was made from the 2020 Kenner Classics mold. Look at the eyes, how they painted it. Don't like that. And I also don't like the way they painted the glasses. They didn't give them that little white middle, right? And Egon has a different pattern of colors on his outfit than anybody else. And then on the side of his leg, it says his name. Seeing as I ruined the Egon packaging pretty bad, I'll just unbox Ray the same way I unboxed Winston. From the bottom. Maybe it's to prevent theft. Who knows? Just don't like it. And it's still ripped from the sides. Let's smell them. The new toy smell on Ray is just a little stronger than Egon's or Winston's. Interesting. Maybe they used a little more plastic on this guy. Yeah, they did. And now Ray's accessories. Starting off with Gopher Ghost, which originally came out with the 1986 original Egon. And as a little kid, I thought this was Slimer. I didn't know any better. Now with Egon, it fit his head very nicely because it was thinner. But this guy, his head is a little more round. It fits really tight in there. It's just not a good choice of ghost to give him, since this is, no, it's not going in. So I'm not gonna mess with him too much. Sideways, yeah, that's nice. And then you could do that. Again, the blue on his eyes, we'll see if that glows in the dark. This is actually pretty stiff. Look, I'm squeezing it pretty hard. It's not as flexible and chewable as the original. His eyes are colored in. Let's see just how nicely it fits in. Now, it doesn't have the little spike at the top of his head. That actually fits a little looser than the other ones, but it still does not fall off. And his proton pack, neutrino wand, and that stream is exclusive to Ray. So this Gopher Ghost was not a good selection for Ray. I honestly like, even though it kind of doesn't make sense all the way it's painted, I like the way it looks on Ray. And unlike Winston and Egon, Ray's name is actually on his torso. And something I didn't notice on Winston or Egon, but I'm noticing this on Ray, is that they also colored in the straps, which makes no sense. If only the jumpsuit was supposed to be painted these bright neon colors. But it was early 90s, and that was the style at the time. And here's the last one. Hopefully this one comes out a lot better than the last three. Come on, Peter. Just come out. There we go. Let's smell them. The new toy smell on Peter is a lot stronger than Winston or Egon. It's just as good as Ray's. Maybe I'm just enjoying the smell way too much. And now taking a look at Peter's accessories, starting with the Arachnid Ghost, which originally came with Super Fright Features Egon. And I never had this. It looks creepy, it looks cool. Plastic's not very flexible. We'll see if that pink color is also glow in the dark. That looks pretty nice. Let's see how it fits with that cool hair of his. And that felt like it snapped on really nice. And now his proton pack, neutrino wand, and that blast effect that is exclusive just for Peter. And let's see if that Arachnid Ghost, nah, just doesn't fit nicely around him for him to flip around. See, Arachnid Ghost is pretty heavy, and it's not gonna be good for you to be doing that with the neutrino wand. I mean, they already broke as easy before. Now it's just gonna be even worse. So I tried it once, I'm not gonna do it again because I don't wanna break it. Its head seems very skinny compared to the original. The neck looks skinnier. Just everything looks just a little smaller. Plus that color green that they used on his eyes, that they also used on his jumpsuit, and it makes it like pop out even more. He just looks kind of weird. I think that color on his hand's gonna last a lot longer than this color did. But then again, I did chew on his hand a lot. Unlike Winston and Egon, and more like Ray, he's got his name on his torso instead of his leg. Having them all together like this, it's amazing, it's badass. This is being a kid again. And now looking at the RoboCop made by Kenner, Yeah, the plastic's just a little different. See, this one's a lot more flexible, whereas this one, it doesn't have that much give. And it's a little lighter. And we also saw in the beginning of the video that these guys really glue in the dark a lot. Whereas this guy, although he glowed in the dark very nicely, it wasn't as strong as these Ghostbusters. And speaking of glow in the dark, now that it's nighttime, let's turn off all the lights. And there you have it. This is so badass. Now, I've been filming this whole time, so they've really been charging up. The Neutrona ones are lighting up so well. Look, even the reflection off the bubbles. And because I wanted to share with my original Ghostbusters, I gave them the mask. Look at how that looks. The glow-in-the-dark plastic is so bright that it's actually lighting up parts of my little studio here. If you're gonna go out trick-or-treating this year, take these Ecto-Glows with you so you don't get hit by a car. As you can see, the paint applied to these don't glow in the dark, but it does help accentuate all the glow-in-the-dark plastic. When my brother saw the Ecto-Glow figures, he thought that they made the evil Ghostbusters from Citizen Ghost. Looking at them, they're completely different. I mean, they didn't have their names on their torsos or legs. What I like, though, is that you can actually use those masks on the originals. And that way you can actually play out the Citizen Ghost episode. Look how cool that looks. My final thoughts. At $79.99 for the whole package deal, the 4 figures, it's kind of expensive because you're paying $20 each figure, unlike 2020 figures, which they were $14.99. So the figures do feel a little fragile, so connecting these ghosts to them, it's not a smart idea. I don't know just how durable they are, but I'm not gonna be messing around with them too much. I love that they glow in the dark. I love that they're molded out of the original action figures, and I love that they released the final 4 figures without, unfortunately, Lois Tully. I hope that they re-release them, but I doubt that they will. These molds were already there for them. These 2 are the only new molds, but everything else Hasbro already had tooled up, so that didn't cost them anything. So I don't understand why they're basically $20 each. Hopefully we do see a reduced price on the store pegs, because I want to buy another set so that I can leave these out and they can glow as much as they want out and displayed, while the next set that I buy, I could put on my pegs. I'll probably even put these guys in my hallway just to lead the way to the bathroom. Now, one thing I do recommend, don't spend over $100 for a set that some scalper got. These guys are selling it for nearly $200, and honestly, they're not worth that much. So just be patient, wait for spring of 2026. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you on the next one. I really do hope you enjoyed this, and I really appreciate your support. Don't send me any money. I don't have any Patreon, so if you could, please just hit that like, hit that subscribe, and maybe share. If you can check out, maybe click this video, or maybe even click whatever that is right here. What is that? How did it get here? Bye!